Hi guys, I'm back with my beanie and my bed is unmade. Don't look at it. DC has always been the best when it comes to animated shows. We're talking Teen Titans, we're talking Batman Beyond, we're talking Justice League Unlimited. When it comes to having an infinite bag of animated shows, DC's who you talk to. The thing about all these shows though, is that they were made with a children's audience in mind. Now that doesn't mean that there wasn't adult themes or moments, because there 100% was. But in general, they had a younger audience in mind. Now existing being what it is, eventually all those kids who when they were little kids they were like, wow, I love Superman so much, I love Superman. Eventually they turned 12 years old, and instead of saying I love Superman, now their immediate thought was, I would like a cigarette please. DC did not have the content to cater to this new market of young teenagers. And DC being a business didn't want to lose out on all these potential customers for their accessories and video games, so they made a decision. They'll create an animated show to cater to this new audience. But what's this show gonna be about? Superman? Nah, he's corny to 13-year-olds. Batman? He's low-key too old still. The Justice League maybe? No. But we're getting closer. What if instead of it being a show about the Justice League, it's a show about their sidekicks? A show about teenage superheroes for the teenage audience. And because this is kind of a new field, the story can tackle a bunch of different topics, like the fear of growing up, or the fear of getting kidnapped and cloned. That's a thing, right? What would they even call this show? Kid Justice League? No, they're not kids. They're just young Justice League. Young Justice. Also, this show fell the fuck off after the first season. No more heroes, it's hero. Young Justice Season 1 genuinely felt like a masterpiece. I can't even explain to you how well all the pieces of this show fit together. They had a strong main crew with a sick revolving door of side characters. They had cool team-specific villains that they would come into contact with a lot. And the topics that they would tackle in this show are amazing. The scene with Robin confiding in Black Canary about how he doesn't want to be Batman anymore because he doesn't want to sacrifice everything for the mission is nothing short of amazing. And if you were like a lot of people who thought this show was just going to be like a knockoff Teen Titans, I got some news for you. Buddy, this Robin is way more sensitive and human than that thug in Jump City. The first season of Young Justice perfectly hit all the notes that it needed to so that it could be successful with the audience that they were targeting. It wasn't too preachy with their moral lessons, there was plenty of action. It would routinely feature kids talking back to their parents and winning the argument. That's some shit you could only dream of. There is a low-key cool and underrated aspect about this show, and it's that the Justice League are borderline morons. This shit is hilarious to me. They are so incompetent in the show, and the team has to save them every time. A lesser man would think that this is bad writing. I do not. I'm watching Young Justice. I want to see these guys do their thing. This ain't the 90s anymore. I don't want to see Superman be cool and save people. I want to see him be like a deadbeat and then watch Vandal Savage destroy the entire Justice League. I think the thing that I like the most about Young Justice was the fact that they managed to take an idea that is pretty average, like a team of sidekicks. This is a normal thing. It's very common in media, but they managed to make it feel very original. And I think a big part of that falls on the cast of characters that they had for this show. Like Aqualad. I knew Aqualad existed from that one episode of Teen Titans, but I'm gonna keep it a buck. Calder smokes this dweeb. And I didn't even know Miss Martian and Superboy existed before this show. So it was very cool seeing new characters, for me at least, take a front row seat to the story. And then you throw in fan favorites like Kid Flash and Robin, and it's not really a mystery that the first season did so well. Season 1 of Young Justice was about as perfect a show as you could ask for. It's so disappointing that a show this well received and this good was canceled. And unfortunately, this is where the breakdown begins. The story of Icarus is as follows. An inventor named Daedalus and his son Icarus are trapped on an island called Crete. Daedalus devises a plan to escape the island using wings made out of wax and feathers, and tells his son 2 important rules. 1, you don't fly too low that the sea spray weighs the wings down and you drown, and 2, you don't fly high enough that the sun melts the wax and you fall to your death. If season 1 was just the departure of Daedalus and Icarus, everything after was Icarus falling to his death. Watching the demise of Young Justice happen in real time was one of the most heartbreaking things I've ever seen in my life. It's like watching your childhood hero turn into a bum in real time. And since we're talking about everything, I think the best place to start is Season 2. Now, I think it's pretty indisputable that Season 2 was the beginning of the end for Young Justice. But despite all the bullshit that they were doing, this is still a really good season. I think the new characters they added were sick. I love Bart Allen. I love Blue Beetle. My issue with this season, and what will end up being a repeating theme for the rest of the seasons we talk about, is the abrupt time skip at the beginning of Season 2. Season 2 takes place like 5 years after Season 1. It's very abrupt and there's no setup. I actually thought I missed some episodes when I started Season 2 because the way they introduced this time skip was atrocious. The time skips that occurred in Seasons 2, 3, and 4 of Young Justice are probably the chief reasons that it fell off in the way that it did. It is very jarring to follow characters for an entire season, and then you get to the next season, and then everything about them has changed, if they're even there. So I start Season 2, and 5 years has passed. Calder is working for Black Manta, who is his dad apparently. He left the team because the girl who dubbed him died. I didn't even know she joined the team. Also, Red Hood showed up and then died. Glad we could get some consistency. Robin became Nightwing. Beast Boy joined the team. Artemis and Kid Flash left the team. Listen, I don't mind this shit happening in theory, but you threw it at me with no prep time. Bro, this is a show with Batman in it. I thought you guys loved prep time. I do have to say though, despite all my gripes with Season 2, it's not a bad season. It just had bad habits. But these are bad habits that grew out of hand and ended up becoming what destroyed the show. Season 3 of Young Justice takes place a few years after Season 2. Glad we could learn from our mistakes there. And instead of being like Season 2, which offsetted the whiplash of a time skip with sick characters, Season 3 has the whiplash of a time skip and, not good characters. We got Brion, who is probably top 2 most annoying people ever. I'll let you in on a secret. He's not 2. Halo, who's like a mother box reanimation. I don't really care about her. I don't care. There's also Forager. Fuck Forager. There's some decent-ish ideas in this season though. I do like the introduction of Batman Inc. That shit was tough. I do like the idea of meta-human trafficking becoming this worldwide phenomena as opposed to the relatively constrained idea it was in Season 2. I'm sure that Red Hood plotline would have been sick if we could ever get to it. And I do like the Darkseid Vandal Savage partnership. I don't know, man. This shit just cracks me up. Something about the two biggest haters teaming up and also hating each other. This should just be frying me sometimes. Speaking of Vandal Savage, this is probably the funniest villain I've ever seen in my life. Season 1, he's trying to stop Kid Flash from delivering a heart to a child who needs a heart transplant, and by Season 3, he's chilling with Darkseid on Apocalypse. This is the funniest, most unserious man on Earth. Season 4 had a lot of the same problems, like another time skip. It's only a year though, so are we serious? Really, we're doing this? Also, we're never getting that fucking Red Hood reveal. They've been setting that shit up for like 8 real life years. This shit about to turn into Old Justice by the time we get to it. They introduced a bunch of characters I don't really care about, except McGann's brother. I know he was on his kill 'em all type shit, okay? And I'm gonna say something very brave now. That was bad and evil. But I'm gonna be honest. Even though it needed a lot of work, the plot point of the white Martians rising up against all the other Martians because they have been systemically discriminated against is low-key an insane topic to touch on in what is still technically a show for young people. So even though it was still very mid, and they also did the thing where they make the villain have a justified reason to be upset, but they make him extra comically evil so you remember he's the bad guy, you just gotta admire the brass fucking balls on these Young Justice writers. I didn't mind any of the Phantom Zone adventures either. I thought it was cool to see the Phantom Zone. Yo, what did they do to it? Yo, send whoever cut his hair to the Phantom Zone and lock the key. I do wish that they would just confirm that Wally's stuck in the Speed Force though, because they had him show up in the Phantom Zone and they had Robin talk about him with Speedy like a while ago. It really feels like they regret killing him and they're trying to figure a way out of it. Overall, seasons 3 and 4, I don't like them. I don't really like the stories that are being told, mostly because I don't really understand what's going on sometimes. I don't need you to hold my hand on the trail, but don't push me off of it when I'm not looking. These seasons are not only light years away in terms of quality from season 1, but even compared to season 2, this is ass. I have my gripes with season 2, don't get me wrong, but if you think I'm gonna talk shit about the season that gave me Impulse, Static, and Blue Beetle, you're smoking something. Instead of Young Justice being a show that had a good season 1 and then built up to have amazing future seasons, season 1 is the most widely acclaimed season that there is because all the others fell off hard. Young Justice became a show that in terms of quality never got past season 1, and that's very upsetting to me because I wanted to be a voice actor on this show. Ideally, I would have played somebody like The Question, and my line would have been something like, guys, I have a question.
Funky rain trap just like a bunny. I really do work from Monday to Sunday. Bruh, leaning like shit, keep pouring up money. Don't hit my phone, you ain't talking about money. Bitch ain't trying to move, gave her a gun. Only more than a one, shit hit and left. Yeah, how the fuck you so broke? That shit disgust. Nigga play Jank in the party, gon' turn up the fun. Nigga just woke up, put a sign on my skin. Nigga just woke up and I'm already pumped. He gon' house up and shoot like he trying to get a bug. Listen, this